know your skin undertone? Do you even know your skin tone? Do you know the difference between skin tone and skin undertone? Over the years, I've actually seen that it can be quite challenging getting that perfect foundation shade. And in this video, I'm going to explain tips on how to be able to find out these skin undertones and actually know the difference between the skin undertones and your skin tones. If you're interested in this video or if this is what you want to benefit from, please stay glued and let's get into it. Before we go on, my name is Nikki Mora, and in this channel we share a lot of tips on beauty, makeup and everything fun and lifestyle. If this is what you enjoy, please stay glued to this channel, hit that subscribe button so you can become part of our family. It's important to know that every individual has got the skin tone and the undertone. Skin tone is the surface skin color that we usually see in an individual. For example, some of us are fair, some of us are medium or what we call chocolate, and then another group of people can be dark or like black. Your skin tone is actually determined by the amount of melanin in your skin. So if you've got lots of melanin, then obviously you're dark skin or you are a black skin. And if you've got little or no melanin, you can be categorized under the fair, the light complexion. So when it comes to undertone is basically that skin color that you see underneath that main skin tone. We actually have about 3 different undertones. We've got the warm undertone, the cool undertone, and then neutral undertone. When you have the neutral undertone, it's more like a combination of the warm and the cool. So you are not able to pinpoint or be able to say that it's either warm or it's either cool. We've actually got different methods that helps us to know the particular undertone that we have as individuals. Now the first would be the use of veins. Now if you check the wrist, around this part of your wrist, you will notice that there are obvious veins on that area. Now I know that sometimes that can be quite challenging, especially if you're dark skin or black skin. But then if that is not the case, you can actually use this to find out that particular undertone that you have. If you have got green veins, then you're most likely under the warm undertone. And if you have got pink, red, purple or bluish veins, then that can mean that you have a possible cool undertone. Now if you have a combination of two, or you're finding it difficult to actually pinpoint which color you have when you look at your veins, then there is every possibility you're going to fall in that middle category, which is the neutral. Second way of finding which undertone you fall into can be by the use of jewelries. And if you get a gold jewelry and a silver jewelry, and you have noticed that gold jewelry really matches your complexion, it makes your complexion come out really well, then there's every possibility you would fall under the warm undertone. But on the other hand, if you use a silver jewelry, necklace or earrings, and you notice that it brings out your complexion really well, then there's every possibility you will fall under the cool undertone. Now if both the gold and silver jewelry matches your complexion, then there's every possibility you're on that middle spectrum, which is the neutral undertone. On the third method, you'd have to ask yourself this question: do you look much better on white clothes, or do you look much better on creamy or off-white clothes? Now warm undertones actually look better in off-white or green colors, while the cool undertones, they actually look better in very obvious white, very bright white. It just brings out that glow in them. Now if you want to check this, the best thing to do is to check this out when you do not have makeup on, and it's best doing it on natural light. So you should allow the natural light to fall on your face. There should be no makeup on. All you need to do is to get a piece of white paper or white cloth, and then you place it really close to your skin. You have a mirror just in front of you, and then you will check if that white actually brings out your glow. Does it make you glow? If it does, then there is every possibility that you'd fall under the cool spectrum or the cool undertone. Now, if you get a brown color or off-white or something a little bit nude, and then you bring it close to your face without having makeup on, having the natural light on your face, you check to see if that actually brings out the glow on your face. If it does, then most likely going to fall under the warm undertone. Now, if you get the two of them and it matches, the both of them feels like they're just bringing out the glow on your face, then there's every possibility that you fall under the middle spectrum, which should be the neutral undertone. One thing that really helps me over the years is to actually check if an individual has this yellow undertone or yellow cast in their skin tone, then there is every possibility they would fall under the warm undertone. And if they have this reddish orange sort of hue or background color, then there's every possibility they would fall under the cool undertone. And if you look at my skin, somehow it feels like it has that reddish complexion, somehow it feels like it has that yellow complexion, and that is why I have that strong conviction that I fall under the neutral undertone. Now, looking at me very well, when I use the mirror to look at my face, I see that this hue, which is the red hue, the cool part of the undertone, is quite little. And if I want to get my perfect shade, I look for that foundation that does not have lots of red in them. If I want to mix my foundation, if I have a foundation that has that yellow background or yellow undertone in it, what I normally do is to just add maybe a drop or two drops, just very little quantity of the red foundation. When I mix it, most times it gives me my perfect shade, and that is because I fall under the neutral undertone. But if you just see this red, this orange, I actually prefer using that red because it makes it very obvious. If you have that red lying underneath your skin tone, then make sure that you go for foundation that have lots of that reddish color in them. But if you actually look at yourself and you see that you're just too bright, it feels like there is this yellow undertone in your skin tone, then make sure you go for the foundation that has got lots of yellow pigments in them, because they will suit you better. Or maybe you can still be lucky if you go to stores that are able to swatch this foundation on your skin or on your face. They might be able to pick that particular foundation shade that will suit you best. Then what you can do next is to get a powder that would enhance that particular foundation to give you the perfect shade. I think it's also worth mentioning that some of these foundation brands actually make this a little bit easier for us. Now, if you get a foundation and it's being labeled with golden or yellow, it gives you that idea that it's possibly going to fall under the warm undertone. But if you get a foundation and it has this right up on it like tan, red, pink, then it's going to fall under the cool spectrum. Now, sometimes this might not be the case for every foundation, but this should actually give you an idea to enable you to be able to pick the right shade. If you're a makeup artist, I know it can be quite challenging getting a lot of foundation to work with, just because you can encounter different individuals with different skin tones and different undertones. But one thing I usually do that has helped me is to try to get some nice shades that I can mix to get any type of skin tone and also skin undertone. Now, I usually advise people to have this very light foundation, have a foundation that has a yellow pigment or yellow undertone in them, very obvious yellow undertone in them. Now, have another foundation that will have very noticeable orange pigments or undertone in them. Then have a foundation that has very dark, that is very dark, like not just dark but black foundation. Now, with these four types of foundation skin tone and undertones, you can always mix them and play around depending on what your client presents with. The reason why you would need to have that very dark foundation is because there are some individuals that when you see them, you obviously see that they are just black. there is not this obvious reddish or yellowish undertone in that dark complexion. Now when you have such patients, you can just go ahead to use that black foundation without giving them that extra undertone. But there are some group of clients or some group of people, and when you see them, yes, you would know that they have this dark skin tone, but then they have this cool undertone, this very reddish undertone in that black complexion. Then what that means is you get the black foundation, add a little bit of drop from that foundation that has the orange undertone in it. When you mix both foundation and apply it on your client's face, you notice that the client's complexion will still be reserved and preserved, and they will also have that reddish undertone in their complexion. In my years of experience, I think that most times people that are dark actually have, is either they are very dark, very or black, or they are black and they have that reddish undertone in their complexion. I hope that helps, especially when you meet clients that are dark in complexion. You want to match your foundation to your client's skin. I usually advise people to do that around the jawline. Now when you do it around the jawline, it helps you to compare this foundation with the other parts of the skin, and also with the neck and the body. Remember, you're not just matching the skin to any of these, you're trying to compare and give the best that would suit both the face and the body. Now usually after applying your foundation, they tend to oxidize after some time. Now when they oxidize, that is when you would actually see the best color of that foundation. When you apply, try to give it a little bit of time, try to blend it into your skin to see if it's going to match up with your complexion. I always advise people, it's actually best to get a foundation that is a little bit lighter than your skin color or your skin tone. If you have your foundation too light, then it might be a little bit challenging bringing it down or toning it down. But if you have it a little bit dark, closer to your complexion, one, it's easier to lighten it up, and two, it's also gives you that finished look that looks close to your skin. I hope you have a better knowledge and understanding of what skin tone is, what undertone is, and how to know the perfect skin tone and undertone that you've got as an individual, and also a clue that would help you to pick the best foundation. Thank you so much, guys, if you have stayed to this part of this video. Thank you for your time, and please, if this was helpful, do not forget to hit that subscribe button and also like the video. It tells the algorithm that people actually like the video, and they will try to push it out to more people. Once again, thank you for staying till the end of this video, and see you in my next one. Bye.